Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Babblers video. My name is Zeru, and this is Royal Trap, the Confines of the Crown. I don't exactly know whether to call it the Confines of the Crown or Royal Trap. It doesn't really matter. So, one quick note before I get started on this. Yeah, so I realized when I made the last video, somehow I had left my desktop audio recording as well on OBS. So that's why the music was so loud compared to my voice. I haven't actually finished making that, like, editing that video, the first one, at this point. But I do know that this one, the sound should be a lot better in terms of the music shouldn't be too loud. I thought it was a little loud when I was going over the editing process in the first episode, so. So as you remember, we were just getting into the secret passage to go ahead and see what Oscar's up to in the ball, and I said I figured we would find out where he was pretty quickly because, you know, he'd do something stupid, so. Oscar must be out somewhere, but it may take a few minutes to pick him out. I hear footsteps approaching, and at first think nothing of it. There are any number of servants in this palace after all, but that is not a servant. Also, I am drinking coffee again. Oh, yeah. My lord? Wait. What was her voice again? Like, my lord? Yeah, just like... You. Who are you? Madeline Valos, my lord. Valito Ossendauer. What is he doing here? He is a prince. He should be dancing with the nobles assembled below. Could the man... Oh shit. Never mind. What is he doing here? He is a prince. He should be dancing with the nobles assembled below. Could the man be, of all things, lost in his own palace? Do you need something, my lord? Nothing you could provide for me. The poisonous edge to his dismissal makes me wonder what exactly he thought I was offering. As I have failed to respond, he presses on. Are you on some errand? My time is my own at the moment, my lord. Then why are you here? What is the world coming to when a servant cannot have privacy from her betters, even in the back halls? It is a complete breach of decorum for him to set foot here at all. He shouldn't be challenging me about it. Inarguably rude, though this question is, he is a member of the royal family, and I am a guest in his home. I am observing, my lord. Like the little cinder girl watching and dreaming of what she can never have. I beg your pardon? Guest or not, that was just too far. No desire to be a princess, but then you must be a noblewoman's daughter in your own land. Younger daughter. And if misfortune favors the succession, it would fall to you. Better that than a younger son, the one left over when everyone tires of matchmaking. We can't choose how we're born. One would think. One would think indeed. Anyway, my lord, you might be a king one day. That's not an option for me. Indeed. I suppose I shouldn't have said that much, but something about the man gets under my skin. So, if not envy and not an errand, what's your game? I'm keeping watch over my prince, as is my responsibility. At least I was, before you began interrogating me for no reason. That tongue, Madeline, is going to get you in trouble. His only answer is a snort before he leans forward to place his own eye to one of the peepholes overlooking the ballroom. Well, dutiful spy, it seems you have nothing to worry about. There may even be wedding bells in his future. What? Oh no, is he getting it on with Princess Cassidy? I plaster myself to the wall and frantically scan the dancers below. Oh, Oscar. No. There he is, dancing with Princess Cassidy. Oscar, his hair glittering in the light of the chandeliers, and a young woman in his arms. Princess Cassidy. She's smiling at him. They look happy. No, you can't be happy! You're mine! Of course they look happy. They're royalty. They've been trained to be dazzlingly polite in all circumstances. She'll dance with all of her suitors. That's why they're here. It's nothing. He's not gonna marry her. He's gonna marry me. She places her hand in his, tilts her head, she laughs, and his eyes answer. They walk together towards the edge of the dance floor, strolling like lovers. What if I was wrong? What if they're a perfect match? If she chose him, Oscar would not hesitate to do his duty, regardless of any childish infatuations. Even the letter he knew as he wrote it that it meant nothing. He so much has said that confessing gave him closure and allowed him to put it all behind him, never to be mentioned again. There are no obstacles in his path. If she chose him here and now, that would be that. He would leave, and I would be cast aside like a piece of garbage. I step back from the site, intending to make my apologies to Prince Callum, but he's nowhere to be seen. He must have left while I was distracted. I shouldn't have come up here. I expected to see Oscar bumbling innocently along with the little boy he was when we met. I wanted to reassure myself that nothing had changed, that I was in control, older and wiser, like always. I was not ready to face the idea that he might not need me anymore. Also, my nose sounds particularly stuffy today because it's just, the allergies are just absolutely ripping me a new one. Hopefully someday I'll be able to find some medication that'll help me not have to deal with this. I returned to our rooms, too distracted to choose an adventurous route. How could he do this? Of course he could do this. That's why we came here. But he only this evening sent me that letter. But who knows when he wrote it? Before he met her? Certainly. Days, weeks ago, it could have been. Old news. I have no right to feel betrayed. I've told him dozens of times that we are nothing but friends. It's only natural for him to respond to a pleasant young princess who might be interested in him. I must stay calm. In all likelihood, this will come to nothing. The princess is a sheltered young woman, enjoying the attentions being paid to her. But she's also an heiress who has been raised to her responsibilities. Perhaps Cassidy and Oscar might come to an understanding in time, but her family would insist that she meet others first. Even if they were swept away by some mad passion and declared an engagement on the spot, which would be an incredible scandal. It would take months to organize a formal wedding. Disaster is not imminent. I have to believe that. Wow, are you gonna, be a wedding crasher, Madeline? Is that, your evil scheme? You gotta let him go. He's a prince and you're nothing but a... Well, actually, she's a little bit better than a peasant. I mean, she's part of a... whoops. Alright. Still, one thing is clear to me. I have been too complacent. I have not planned ahead. Sooner or later, I will lose my position with Oscar, and I need to think about what to do next. I don't like it, but not liking something doesn't stop it from happening. I have to face this. There are no other princes in Osendar, but there is no shortage of young men. If I'm credited with polishing Oscar for a prestigious match, mothers may want to entrust their sons to me, or even younger children. I've had enough education to pass for a tutor if I must. Such a role would give me a new home and security for a time, at least. There are benefits to having worked within the palace for so many years. Someone may wish to employ me on the basis of what, and whom, I know. And then there are my other skills. Although I would prefer not to rely on them, one who lives by the blade tends to die by it as well. Wait, what? Huh? No, never. Not that. And not returning to my family's hearth. Better to starve with dignity. I can't believe it could come to that. Wait, other skills? I would prefer not to rely on them. One who lives by the blade. What? Is she like a blade master? Like a battle maiden or something? How could I have let this happen? I knew my life with Oscar couldn't last. I told myself that I was being the wise one, that I was focusing on what was most important and not letting myself be distracted. Apparently, wisdom and blindness look so similar that I couldn't tell the difference. No, I will not panic. Everything will be alright. I have time. Once we are in my own country again, I will set aside my wages. I will work harder at being sociable and making connections within the court. It is never too late to make a good beginning. Perhaps if Oscar marries well, their majesties will see fit to reward me. I'm an adult now, and I have earned their trust. They might have a new position in mind. With royal support and a higher pay rate, I would be able to make a home for myself, and then, with security and a place of my own, I could consider personal matters. Love, a family, all the things I can't have now. A real future at last. Oscar married Cassidy could be the best thing that ever happens to me. But even I wouldn't believe myself if I claimed I would not miss him. Now this, holy crap, this is much more heavily on the visual novel side than Long with the Queen. It's the text. I mean, there's walls of it. So I apologize if it's boring you guys. Hopefully my voice can get you through this, and I will try to stop in Theorycraft and make it a little more interesting. Oh, maybe I should just shut up and keep the story going and get to the more interesting part. I mean, not that this isn't interesting, it's just not on the edge of your seat yet, I don't think. I'm drawn from my contemplations by a strange sound, or perhaps an absence of sound. I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't something that I registered on a conscious level, but I have been trained to respond to changes in my surroundings. Something is wrong. Ooh, just as I said it was boring, and suddenly I rise and walk to stand near the doors, just beyond the arc that they cover when they swing. If someone or something burst through those doors, I would rather not be struck in the face. There's a rumble in the distance, a hubbub that can't be silenced by solid walls and thick carpeting, and it's growing. What the hell is that sound? Sounds like a poltergeist. Heavy footsteps, the clash of metal, a fist hammering on the door. Coffee? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Open up in the name of the king! Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, God. The princess has been kidnapped by your master. Uh-oh. What? Oh, Oscar, what have you done? Oh, shit. Wait, what the fuck? No! Go for it, Madeline. You can save him. And... oh, no. So that's like the intro then. Oh, this is good. It is getting better. Callum. Oh. Actually, I was also going to say that I found the music somewhat annoying. But I like this song a good bit. Oh, you teddy bear. Oh my god. Nazagi. It's Nazagi's fault. I feel it already. Although Gaston... no, Gaston's harmless, but he's a arrogant buffoon. Okay, so I guess we've met most of the characters at this point, so that's good. Now we can just kind of get into the story. Alright guys, now we're officially at the start of the game because the last 40-minute episode was just like the prologue. Now, again, the presentation hall is filled with guests and guards, more than before, and far less friendly. I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. It was dark. Wait, what the fuck? Oscar is not, in fact, eloped with the princess in a fit of madness. He's here. Bruised, dirtied, scratched, and alone. Okay. Hold on a second, guys. I need to get some tissue paper. Be right back. Why is it all the way over here? No, my tissue. Oh, here it is. Ugh. Okay, coming back. I promise. I'm almost back. Okay, hold on now. I need to blow my nose. I apologize for what I'm going to subject your ear holes to. Oh, man. Okay. Then the coffee, and... Okay, now we can continue. According to the guards, he was discovered lying senseless under a rose bush. Of Cassidy, there was no sign. You spirited her into the gardens and out of sight, my little baby! guess this is the mom. It was her idea! Who's Farad? Oh. Pull yourself together, boy, and speak respectfully. That is Duke Farad, the Disliked. Is that an actual title? On first impressions, I cannot say that I'm fond of him either. He is a pale man whose lips draw together in a pinched expression. His clothing, though well-tailored, is too somber for the festive occasion that this anniversary was meant to be, and his voice snaps like the switch ill-bred gentlemen wield on their servants. Oh, sorry, the switch, like the spanking tool. Oscar looks back at the Duke, his lips curling slightly. Then, with a small shake of his head, he draws himself to his full height. Her Highness wished to show me the alba roses in the moonlight. She told me that the garden was enclosed on all sides. There did not seem to be any danger.
You were not satisfied with
Is that his voice? Yeah, I think.
monopolizing the princess' public attentions. You wish to press your suit in the shadows.
I would never have pressed her into anything. We were looking at the flowers and talking, nothing more. Then I felt a pain in my head. I tried to turn and something wrapped around my neck. That's all I know. Like any prince, Oscar has been trained in the arts of war, but in this case, it is more of an art than a practical defense. He is passable with a sword in the context of a formal duel. With a firearm, he can strike a close-range target so long as neither he nor it is moving. That's not very helpful. A dishonorable opponent in hand-to-hand could take him down easily. I didn't hurt Cassidy, and I don't know where she is. Please, don't waste time asking me questions. We have to find her. It is terribly convenient that you are alone in the dark, out of sight. How fortunate for you that you were completely unharmed by this mysterious assault. What? And, of course, when only you are able to find and rescue her, you will claim her hand as your reward. Are you saying that I made all this up? That's bad. They're turning on him. I have to do something. Your Majesties, may I speak?
Go ahead.
Everyone who saw them knew that Oscar and Cassidy were pleased with each other. Surely, of all the princes, he would be the least likely to try such a thing.
Are you accusing us of petty jealousy?
Of course not, my lord. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. That would be a quick way to make an enemy. I have to be careful what I say. If someone did scheme to kidnap the princess in order to force her into marriage, it probably wouldn't be a man who had a good chance of winning her without it. Oh, Madeline, you sly bastard. You're still going to make them pissed by saying that. The benefit would not be worth the risk.
A clever way to avoid suspicion.
If there's a plot, then someone has something to gain. Something that's worth risking their life to get it. So who benefits? All of a sudden, the king's wisdom goes pale, clutching at her husband's arm for support. I cannot guess what thought has occurred to her, but I must press forward my point while I can. As my lord has suggested, I believe that it is important to locate her enlightened highness as soon as possible, before whoever is behind this has a chance to cause further mischief. Naturally, I cannot tell a king that he must, or even should, do, or what he must or should, but I am a noblewoman's daughter, even if a low-ranked one. It is not improper to make a suggestion, particularly when the credit is placed upon worthier lips.
Indeed.
His gaze sweeps the room.
You will all be escorted to your rooms under guard. I have done nothing! I will not be treated—
You are being treated like an honored guest. Your chambers will remain private, and you will remain within them. All of you, including you, Farad.
Your Majesty, I assure you.
I want to help. I want to help with the search.
Be quiet, both of you. As far as I am concerned, you are the prime suspects. You will return to your rooms and stay there, and pray that my daughter is found unharmed.
Oh, Oscar, you never did learn when it was best to avoid being noticed. As if he's heard my thoughts, he turns to look at me. Oh god. When his eyes falls upon the amber stone at my neck, a tiny smile warms his face. Oh. And then the guards come for us both. So they're going to be locked together. Yeah, stop. Text, please. I'm trying to theorycraft here for a second. So, they're going to be stuck together in the room, which is really cute. And they're going to, like, fall in love with each other. And, yeah. This is bad. Very bad. And the princess isn't found quickly and word leaks out, all of Gwelinor will be in chaos. If she has been kidnapped with the intention of forcing her into marriage, or worse, killed. There hasn't been a true war between civilized lands in a century. The repercussions could bring destruction beyond imagining. If the blame for such a disaster were placed on Oscar, his family might well give him up rather than risk open war on his behalf. Really? That's not very loving parents. Holy shit. Even if the matter is resolved peacefully, the scandal could ruin him. It goes without saying that my own fate in such a circumstance would be far worse. Cassidy must be found as soon as possible. The guards escort us to our rooms, but true to the king's word, they do not follow us inside. Within these walls, it would seem our territory is still sovereign. Of course, I don't intend to remain within that protection. I can't rely on the local palace guard to solve this mystery, not with so much at stake. Oh, you sly dog, Madeline. Therefore, once the door is closed, I begin changing my gloves and shoes into something more appropriate, like a combat outfit, or an assassin's outfit. Or at least more suitable for getting around unobserved. Excuse me. Nothing gets past you, Prince Oscar. You're going out, aren't you? Don't worry, everything will be alright. Wait, don't go yet. Can we talk, please? The look in his eyes is hard to face. Between the letter and the dance and the attack, he must be feeling torn to pieces. I know he's upset, but the fact remains that every minute now could make the difference. Great. Frick. Shite. I really do want to have that interesting talk with him, but at the same time, if I don't leave immediately, she might actually end up dying, and if she dies, then there's going to be war, and it could end very badly. But I've been kind of dismissive of Oscar lately, so we're going to stay and talk. Alright. But not for long. Maybe it's wrong, but I can't leave him like this. He needs me, and I need him to be okay. Are you alright? I'm fine. It's only bruises. I should have fought harder or made more noise, I suppose. It all happened so fast. Why didn't Cassidy help you? I don't think she can fight. Well... now we come to it. The romance. I can see it in his smile. I take a seat and school my face to hide any hint of reaction. I must not appear jealous. Go on, tell me about her. She's very sweet, attentive. She's not like my sisters at all. She was so easy to talk to. We'd keep thinking of new things to say, and she doesn't think I'm stupid. You're not stupid. He laughs and shakes his head. I think we all are sometimes. But with her, I wasn't afraid of making a mistake. She told me about Caspian, how he died so young. Do you know, they wouldn't even let her play with her own brothers after that? They were so afraid of her falling ill, they never let her have friends. She said she hoped the two of us would be very good friends. I wanted that. Uh-oh. Friends? The friend zone. Friends? You mean you two weren't planning on the wedding? What? Well, I liked her, but don't you think that would be a bit... sudden? Of course it would. She's so relieved. Look at her face. All that worry for nothing, and now we've got far worse to worry about. I just feel awful. She's so nice, and I wanted to make her happy, and I let her down. You said earlier that it was Cassidy's idea to go in the gardens, right? Okay, I'm just gonna say, you guys are talking... First of all, you're wasting time talking about his feelings for this one. There's this thing, okay? She read the stupid letter that you sent her, professing your love for her, and you guys just are gonna ignore the fact that this happened? It's not like there's anyone else who can hear your conversations. Holy shit. Talk about the good stuff. Get down to the nitty-gritty. Sure. I didn't even know there was a garden out there until she pointed it out. It was too dark to see it through the glass. And how did the guards know to find you? I'm not sure. I think they came looking for us because we've been out of sight too long. So she lured you into the dark, and she didn't scream for help when you were attacked? Or, that's not a question, that's a statement. What are you suggesting? Yeah, what are you suggesting, Madeline? Are you accusing the princess of faking her own capture? I don't know, it's just that, well, if you say she had no freedom and no friends... I remember living like that, and I at least did have my own sister as a companion. I was still allowed to travel. How much worse to be a prisoner in your own palace? Even a perfect princess would break eventually. Okay, so if her theory's correct, then actually it was a good thing that I talked with Oscar and found this information out instead of running around frantically thinking someone had killed her. Which may still be the case, but we don't know. She might have organized a plan to get away from her minders for a while. I doubt we'll find her in the cellar with the sweets, but she might have run on her own. I did. Of course I would have run, but I would not have gotten someone like Oscar hurt in the process. That's wonderful. What? Well, that means she's alright, right? If it was really her idea, and if her fellow conspirators don't betray her, and if she doesn't manage to get herself hurt during her adventure... Oh. That's why I have to go and find her. Yes, right. Be careful. I grasp his shoulder and give it a little shake. Everything will be alright. And now it'll be a simple matter to slip out unseen, out of a window, that is. The special gloves I'm wearing are designed for gripping surfaces when climbing. They're very useful. I'll go out... What a badass, Madeline. You didn't tell us about this. I'll go out our window and back in... I'll go out our window and back in through the next one down. From there I'll be able to reach the main hallways, and any guards outside our room won't see a thing. Most of the palace staff must be busy with the search. They may not have even bothered to keep our door under watch, but I would rather not run the risk of drawing more suspicion. It's like the Mission Impossible music. Okay. After some time, picking my way carefully through the darkened service corridors, I begin to wonder if I've made a mistake. I was right, of course, that the official guards would not be capable of a thorough search. Only once that I've seen have they bothered to enter these passages, and that so briefly that it was easily within my capabilities to stay out of sight. Perhaps they have focused their efforts on blocking exits from the palace. Not an unreasonable approach, but the fact remains that there are 1,000 places they have not investigated. These corridors may be out of sight of the guards and the nobles who observe propriety, but they are hardly secret. Any servant with a bucket of coal or filthy washwater or similar undecorous tasks could be expected to use these halls to avoid the risk of dirtying the fine carpets. And I have passed a few such already in my wanderings. None of them have questioned my presence at all. In fact, they have been eager to share the garbled gossip of how the search is progressing, all of which is mostly useless. If someone tells me that she heard from a butler, who heard it from a maid, that a guard saw a suspicious figure by the morning music chamber, well, even if that was accurate, then when it was first heard, and even if it hadn't been altered by passing through so many mouths, it's old news by now. And of course, knowing where the guards have searched still doesn't mean that I can rule those places out. Any child knows that one of the best places to hide a stolen toy is in a location that has already been thoroughly searched. I'm going in circles and getting nowhere. I don't know what to do next. I can't give up now. What I need is information, motives, methods. If Cassidy arranged her own disappearance, where might she have gone to hide? If it was someone else, where might they have put her? What contacts do they have? What do they know? Just running around loose on my own isn't likely to make a difference, but I don't have any connections here. Except that one.
You're not supposed to be here.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You and your prince are supposed to be in your rooms.
I can't rate her for manners, but she apparently has the advantage on many of the palace staff in terms of intelligence. Like you said, she wasn't very intelligent before.
Not that it's stopping the others.
The others?
Well, you don't expect a great lord to stay still on the say-so of a nobody guard, do you? Those that are born that way know who makes the rules. Their rules.
Of course. Wonderful. If Oscar is the only suspect staying put, that'll make things even more confusing. Wait, does that mean the rooms are empty?
Could be. You want to get into those rooms, don't you? Spying again.
I tap the side of my nose with my finger meaningfully. See, you hit it on the nose. I would never violate the privacy of honored guests. But let's do it anyway!
So you don't want to? Well, never mind then.
So much for the intelligence. I take back my earlier assessment. She may be observant in some ways, but she certainly didn't invent gunpowder.
Yes, I would like to have a look, if I can get in without being seen. A nearby window or service door, or a large chimney, if you know the way. Or the keys. You have keys to those rooms? Maybe I do. What's there for me? Look, what's your name? Dolores, miss. Dolores, I am trying to find your princess and prevent civil war or worse. I'm not doing this to gain anything for myself. Well, good for you, lady. Whatever, but that's nothing to me.
Oh yeah. You need something.
You need a nice, warm batch of brownies. What do you want? That necklace you're wearing is very pretty.
God damn it. Oscar's necklace? No. Fuck you, bitch. No. I reach through the slit in my clothes for my purse and fetch out 4 silver ducats. Here, more than it's worth, and more use to you.
Present from someone special then, miss?
None of your business.
Very well, lady. Whatever.
With the bribe safely stowed, her smile takes on a harder quality.
Whose room do you want?
Only one?
I can't wait around for you while you search. Too many eyes.
I suppose that makes sense, but with so much riding on my decisions, how can I choose? Of course, Dolores is a lower servant, nearly invisible to the eyes of the mighty, and she notices things. Can you tell me a little bit about the other guests?
I don't have all night. We have to hurry.
She seizes my arm and starts to pull me along, keeping up her rapid monologue in an undertone.
The Duke and his men won't let even the chambermaids in the air of their rooms. Don't know if it's territory or they got something there. The pale fellow, nobody wants to do his room. Cause he's got all these bottles like a pharmacist. And who wants their fingers to rot off from poison and curses? And the glittery one smells, said Gaston. It's true, but...
She dropped her voice even further to a whisper. Ah!
I heard it from a junior scullion that someone saw a girl who looked like the princess in his room once. Can't tell you that it's true, only that I heard it. So, which room do you want to see?
Ah, here we go. Well, not Duke Farad. Well, okay, so they want me to go with the most obvious, which is actually... Duke Farad's kind of an obvious choice because he's the disliked. Prince Nazagi is like a creeper. Gaston just seems too boisterous to pull off anything, so I think it's actually Prince Nazagi.
Fine, now let's get moving, and whatever you do, don't tell anyone I helped you.
The page leads me to Prince Nazagi's room, where she unlocks the door. Where she unlocks the door and holds it open for me to slip quietly inside. Then, her purpose served, she leaves me to my task. There tends to be a certain similarity to these guest quarters. After all, there's no way to know who might be residing within them at any time. The colors and furnishings may vary, but at their core, these rooms are not so different from the ones that Oscar and I share. No sign of Nazagi or his valet, nor of the princess. Not in the front room, at least. The doors to the bed chamber beyond are closed, and that is where the danger lies. That page mentioned a collection of small bottles, which the chambermaid suspected of bearing poisons. In keeping with Nasagi's sinister reputation, no one trusts a pharmacist, and for good reason. Still, if assassination were his intention, it would be foolish to display his tools so openly, and the princess was kidnapped by violence, as poor Oscar's head can attest, not by a potion. More likely that the bottles contain something else entirely: perfumes, cosmetics, brandies if he has a taste for them, antidotes if poison is a common fear in his own land. The other possibility is darker than poison: alchemy. Small surprise that the maids were afraid to meddle. I have seen traveling wonder workers, both the sort who amuse village children and the sort who entertain nobles. There are quite certainly men and women with the power to combine substances and make strange things happen. Isn't alchemy technically just... Oh no, that's transmuting. Alchemy... But the main goal of alchemy is to create gold out of something else, right? There are also charlatans, swindlers, and dabblers, and those last tend to come to a sticky end. The masters of the art guard their secrets jealously.
Even if I find this rumored collection, I have no way to identify its contents. Better to leave that alone. I don't need to know Nazagi's vices. I need to find Cassidy. No obvious clues out here. Everything is perfectly clean and organized, just as it would have been when the entourage from Asenath arrived. Not everyone is as naturally untidy as Oscar. I ease along the wall towards the bedchamber door, silent as a fish. I can't hear anything. Maybe it's empty. I'll have to find out. Yeah, I'm gonna get like tongue-tied a lot here because, like I said, there's a ton of reading in this. But it is getting more interesting. I do like that. But before I can open the door, and that's all the time. No, I'm kidding. That's not all the time. I actually got about 5 to 7 minutes left, unfortunately. Hold on, gotta blow my nose. I know you guys are just dying for me to advance the story. Ugh. Ugh. Well, before I can open the door... Aha! Someone else does. What are you doing here? In an instant, those long, delicate fingers are digging into my shoulders, the painful pressure making my hands fall weak and numb at my sides. Who are you? Madeline Velos, my lord. There's no sense in lying now. Even if he doesn't recognize me at the moment, he'll see me with Oscar later. I gambled and lost. I have to take this on the chest. You're the Osindarago. Well, now you know. Now I know what? What do I know, Prince Nazagi? Know what? What is it worth for you to keep your silence? I can be generous to my friends. Believe me, you would rather be my friend than my enemy. What is he talking about? I haven't found anything to keep secret yet. And then the answer stares me in the face. The great and terrible Prince Nazagi is wearing spectacles like a dried-up old monk. Oh, that's so sad. It would be worth laughing over if the situation weren't so dire. My lord, that's not why I'm here. I have no intention of spreading gossip about your impairment. It's beneath my dignity. That's so sad. Indeed. Then why are you here? If you let go of me, I'll tell you. It's so sad. His glasses. Still sullen, he gives a final rolling squeeze to my shoulders and then releases his grip. Feeling rushes back along my arms, the tingling even more unpleasant than the loss of sensation preceding it. Still, it's only pain. If absolutely necessary, I could fight back now. I doubt his skills could stop a blade. But what good would that do? I'm no assassin. I came here to investigate. I'm searching for Princess Cassidy. He laughs. Unless your eyes are worse than mine, you should be able to tell that I'm not she. May I view your bedchamber? He steps aside, bowing his head to me in mockery. Though it may bring me shame for a woman's gaze to fall upon my most private possessions, I will not prevent you. I shake the last remnants of weakness from my hands, and look past him into the inner rooms. There is no one in evidence, neither servant nor princess, and I hear no hidden captive's muffled cries. Dolores' gossip holds true. A 3-tiered rack of bottles stand atop a wooden table. None have labels that I can read from this distance. Many have no labels at all. Different colors, different shapes, some stoppered with crystal, others with cloth and string. There are undoubtedly secrets hidden here, but I cannot bring myself to tear apart his room while he watches. My purpose expended, I step away from the door. You thought I had her? I thought that these rooms were somewhere the guards were ordered not to search, and someone ought to. Someone already has. What do you mean? I'll answer your question if you answer mine. How did you get in here? Uh-oh. A simple enough question to answer, if I choose not to keep Dolores' secret. I'm not gonna tell him because I don't think he can really prove either way. And I might need Paige in the future. Dolores risked her position to help me. I won't betray her now. Excuse me. Oh, shit. That's a secret, my lord. I keep my secrets. And yours. Yes, of course. How could I doubt the honor of a thief who creeps into men's bedchambers in the night? Ouch. I'm looking for the princess. I'm not trying to rob you, Nazagi. So you say, no. But if you had found my rooms empty or myself asleep, how can I know what you might have intended? Perhaps your prince feels he has too many rivals. Oscar, order an assassination? He doesn't have a wicked bone in his body. But he doesn't know that. Nazagi doesn't know that. Your implication says more about you than it does about me. As the words leave my lips, I realize that they may hold an unexpected truth. After all, if he is a pharmacist and came upon Oscar in secret with a poison in his hand. I see you have just enough wit to be dangerous. Well, I don't think you and I have anything more to say to one another, do we? Good night, Miss Valois, or Valus, whatever your fucking name is. Very well, I'm leaving. He's a clever fellow, undoubtedly embroiled in schemes, and not to be trusted. He may well think the same thing about me. He's obviously trained in the fabled Athenian... Why do they have so many words in this damn game that I can't pronounce? Asinethian pressure point techniques. That's what he used to disable me. If he had dropped Oscar in the gardens, he would not have needed to leave a bump on his head. Or is that what he wants us to think? Ooh. If he were really hiding a kidnapped princess, surely he would have been more worried about that plan being uncovered than about someone seeing him in his spectacles. I just don't know. Once more I slip into the hidden halls. There is no sign of the page Dolores, nor any other observers, but this does not reassure me. I've been too long gone, with too little accomplished. I must return to Oscar. I wish I had more to tell him. He's done nothing wrong. I know he hasn't. An honest investigation cannot point back to him because he is innocent. Logically, therefore, this mess should not come to roost over our heads, but that doesn't mean it won't. It is my task to defend him in all ways, to guard him from danger, to save him from dishonor, and to present him in the best possible light. Rescuing a lost princess would make him a hero, one that any woman would want as her husband. What greater laurel could I earn for him? I can't give him what he wanted from me. This is the only gift I can offer. That, of course, is if I succeeded. If I do not, if the scandal is pinned to his name, I will not fail him. I will find Cassidy, but first I must speak with Oscar to tell him what little I've learned, to see if it sparks any clue. And I wish that I could continue. I wanted to try to get to another cliffhanger and leave it there, but I am actually all out of time. This episode's been going on for about 40 minutes or so. I don't really like to go longer than that. I know I said that I would go like an hour on these things, but the truth of the matter is, to render in the quality that I render in, a 45-minute video takes like an hour and a half to render, or sometimes 2. And with some technical, if there's like even one little technical difficulty, then it sets me back a long time. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this episode here. So when we come back, we will go talk with Oscar and then continue trying to find Cassidy, I assume. And Nazagi definitely seems weird, but most likely he's not the culprit. Just based on the fact, he wouldn't have to whack Oscar on the head, and he seemed more concerned about his spectacles and all that kind of good stuff. So all we know is that he wears glasses and he's embarrassed about it. So, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. My name is Zaru, and this is The Babblers.